It's been 21 years now in the chair, and after a while you just think, I don't have the energy for this anymore.
I know I'm not the only one that tries to park as close to the doors as possible, and most of the time I always find a spot I like. But for people who rely on wheelchair lift vans, there's usually only one spot in a lot that works, if there are any spots at all. What people may not know is wheelchair lift vans can't use typical accessible spots. Winnipegger Arlene Ursel says she needs a full 16 feet, the stall and the access aisle, to be able to park and exit her vehicle. And when that isn't available, she can give up, or she can try and park elsewhere, but that often leads to confrontations from other drivers who are less concerned about her accessibility.
People will block me in, and I've had to hand my keys to a stranger to get my van out, to back my van out. Like, we're put in those kind of dangerous situations.
Ursel says she uses cones to try and reserve space for her ramp when she parks in non-designated spots. She says she usually gets one of two responses.
She said she saw the cones, didn't know what they were for, so just drove over them. And this is a regular occurrence.
Or
she was incensed that I had parked like that. So she got out of her car and she just verbally assaulted me for parking like that.
We need to have a little more awareness on, how disability works and things to look for and things to be mindful of.
Nick Donaldson, a software developer who uses a power chair, says an education aspect is needed for people for why they need to respect accessible spaces.
People don't quite get it until it's explained to them.
But Ursel says education isn't enough. She wants the city to turn all accessible parking spots into stalls wide enough for her to be able to get in and out of her van.
They all have to be the same. They all have to be 16 feet wide.
The City of Winnipeg says a zoning bylaw was changed 10 years ago, making the required van accessible space in off-street parking lots and parkades to be a minimum of 8 feet plus 8 feet of an adjacent access aisle. The number of wheelchair van stalls depends on the size of the parking lot, which means for a lot up to 25 spaces, no stalls are required for wheelchair vans. In lots up to 75 spots, 1 wheelchair van stall is required, and for lots up to 1,000 spaces, only 4 are required. The city's public service is not considering recommending any changes. In Winnipeg, Joanne Roberts, City News.